Hello the internet! It is Saturday the 10th of December 2022 and welcome back to the channel. And Saturday the 10th of December would tell you that a number of things if you've been watching the World Cup football, which I have been as a bandwagon fan. I've been getting on that bandwagon. The rest of the 4 years leading up to this tournament, I don't pay any attention to the sport at all. I just jump on and I support Australia as we get eliminated quite quickly. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Qatar, the host nation, not in specific, not about their results. They, I read a news article that said they were the worst performing host nation at any World Cup period. They didn't win any of their games. They didn't score any goals and they were out immediately, almost as bad as Australia. But I want to talk about the controversy surrounding the build-up to the World Cup. Now, we did a stream, I feel like it was like 3 weeks before the commencement of the opening match. And someone said in the chat, there's a lot of controversy about even Qatar hosting this. And I remember we looked at the Wikipedia page. There wasn't a great deal of controversy. There was a couple of stories. Nothing too strange or nothing out of the ordinary. But last night, I went on and had a look at that Wikipedia page again, and holy crikey, it's massive. There is a sling of controversies surrounding this. I want to get in and have a look at them just for my own curiosity, for my own satisfaction, and I hope you want to join me. So if you've got any controversies that you might have, you can link them, and we might be able to check them out. First thing I've got to do, though, is turn on my AC here. It's a little warm back here. And I also want to say hello to the Chisel Chats. Pertsky, I'm here for the drama. And g'day, Benon. Pertsky, good morning. Hello, how are you? I said smash that like button. Yeah, I don't see any likes yet. What the crikey? I see... Oh, wait a second. It says people are waiting to come in. What? Am I not live? Shit. Let me just refresh my trousers. No, I'm live. I see 1 like. I see 5 watching and 1 like. Come on. 5 watching and only 1 like. Get that up there. Smack it. Tap it. Slip it. Crack it. And D-Live, if you're watching on D-Live, this is a YouTube stream. I did put the link in the D-Live chat, but come on over to the machines of YouTube. Pertsky says, how's life? I said, dandy, but no surf this morning. The tide is too high. Not enough swell, but it's a fine day for weather. It is a beautiful morning. A little on the chill side. There's a southwesterly. No, it'd be a southeasterly. And it's a bit cool. Brings in cool weather, our weather from the south. Pertsky says, I wish I could say the same. The winter started off colder and more miserable than usual. Cracking open a gentrified Krombracker in your honor. Here it is. You need a glass, dude? You need a glass with a thumbprint. Marty's favorite glass, a little thumbprint glass. You can see that there. Of course, you cannot have it. I liked it. You are live. Greetings from Mexico. Semic Soriano. Hello, Semic. Hello. How you doing? Semic? Semiac. How do you say your handle? Semiac Soriano. Semiac Soriano. That's the chat, folks. Let's bring it in so we can all play along. And I guess we'll just move straight into this because where's my Luigi? Here we go, folks. This is the controversy. This is the Wikipedia page. You can read along with this if you want, but crikey, look how big this page is, dudes. There is a lot to go through here. So let's just start from the top, Let's just go from the top down. I'll read it to you and you can enjoy my sultry tones. 2020 FIFA World Cup controversies. Semiac, I'm having a great day finally, and it's Friday. Yeah, we all love a good Friday. Begins here. The awarding of the 2022 FIFA World Cup to Qatar created a number of concerns and controversies regarding both Qatar's suitability as the host country and the fairness of the FIFA World Cup bidding process. Right from the get-go. Some media outlets, sporting experts, and human rights groups have criticized Qatar's record of human rights violations. Whoops! Qatar's limited football history, the high expected cost, the local climate, and bribery in the bidding process. Whoa. Though other parts of the world do not focus as much on these concerns. Do we not? Only Qatar focuses on these concerns? Okay. Criticism of human rights in Qatar focused on the treatment of migrant workers, women, and position on LGBT rights, leading to allegations of sports washing. Sports washing is a term used to describe the practice of individuals, groups, corporations, or governments using sports to improve reputations tarnished by wrongdoing. A form of propaganda, sports washing can be accomplished through hosting sporting events, blah, bling, blah, blang. Semiac, I've been a follower for a really long time. This is the first time I catch you live. I'm very excited. Oh, that's nice. Well, hey, dude, I'm going to give you a little cheers for that. I'm not too sure how long you've been following the channel, but I appreciate you coming by on a live stream. That's very kind of you, man. And from Mexico, too. Don't spoil it, dude. How's your team going? I'm a little behind. What did I watch? I'm still in the group stages with Mexico and Poland, was it? No, I don't think it was. Anyway, don't spoil it because I'm about to watch your team continue their triumph. No, they went out, didn't they? That's right. They went out because they needed a goal difference or something. No, you guys went out due to or was that Saudi Arabia? One of the teams that I can't remember the name of went out due to yellow cards. Shit. Eliminated by Argentina. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And thanks, Perdsky. I normally do a stream, this time of the week. Yeah, cool. Sports washing. Others have criticized, or others have cited Qatar's intense climate and a lack of a strong football culture, as well as evidence of bribery for hosting rights and wider FIFA corruption. Boycotts of the event were declared by several countries, clubs, and individual players. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter, that's a cool name, Sepskis, has twice said that giving Qatar hosting rights was a mistake. Match attendance figures have also come under scrutiny as reported crowd attendances have exceeded stadium capacities despite games having visibly empty seats. Didn't I say that when we started watching? It looks like these stadiums are quite empty. Incumbent FIFA president Gianni Infantino, now this is the guy who's you're seeing a lot of on the broadcast, has defended the hosting of the tournament in Qatar. Others have commented that Qatar's human rights records are much better than those of Russia and China, and they both hosted previously. They received less criticism for similar issues when hosting their own major events. The controversies surrounding the World Cup in Qatar are described as a cultural conflict or a clash of civilizations between authoritarian Islamic regimes and secular liberal democracies. Oh, fiery. Let's go down and continue this lengthy passage. Human rights issues is the first concern. Now, migrant workers, slavery allegations, and deaths. I mean, that happens in every country, but when it's for a sporting event, I guess it seems a little more harsh. One of the most discussed issues of the Qatar World Cup was the treatment of workers hired to build the infrastructure. Hello, Aerogamer. Dugsky, how you doing? I'll give you a little cheers. Welcome to the stream, man. Hello, Skins. How's it going? What's cracking? What's going down? Getting into it. The controversies surrounding the Qatar World Cup campaign. Not their gaming. They're already out. They played pretty poorly. I mean, this does say that they don't have a very good track record in the game itself, but we're not really looking at that. I mean, yeah, there's always got to be a bad team as well as good teams. These guys were the bad team, but we're looking at everything surrounding it. So the treatment of workers hired to build the infrastructure, Human Rights Watch and the International Trade Union Confederation, the ITUC, state that the kafala? The kafala system is a system used to monitor migrant laborers. Okay. It leaves migrants vulnerable to systematic abuse. Workers could not change jobs or even leave the country without their sponsor's permission. Okay. In November 2013, Amnesty International, that's a long time ago, November 2013, Amnesty International reported serious exploitation, including workers having to sign false statements that they had received their wages in order to regain their passports. Ah, shit. That doesn't sound good. Most Qatari nationals avoid doing manual work or low-skilled jobs. Sounds like Kiwis in Queenstown. Whoops, sorry New Zealand. Hey you, yahoos. Just going to pause here momentarily. I see 6 watching and only 2 likes. Come on. Come on. Have I taught you nothing? 6 viewers and 2 likes? Up it. Up those likes, folks. I want you to up it. Smash the like button. Get it. Take it. Let's move on. New Zealand, they are given preferences in the workplace. Michael van Praag, president of the Royal Dutch Football Association, requested the FIFA Executive Committee to pressure Qatar over these allegations to ensure better workers' conditions. Fair. He also stated that a new vote on the attribution of the World Cup to Qatar would have to take place if the corruption allegations were to be proved. So these are all allegations only. I rectified at this end. Thank you, Dugsky. Cheers, my friend. All my topics on the topic are getting pruned, so I'll give up. What do you mean getting pruned? What do you mean getting pruned? Who's pruning? I didn't prune anything. Don't accuse me of pruning. I haven't had a bath in years. Aside from the time I dropped my iPad in the bath watching Gilski. The issue of migrant workers' rights attracted greater attention since the 2022 FIFA World Cup was awarded to Qatar. So this existed before. Okay, so what we're seeing here is they've already had an issue with migrant workers. I was going to say, did they start building everything in 2013? That's a long time early. A 2013 investigation by the Guardian newspaper claimed that many workers were denied food and water, had their identity papers taken away from them, and were compelled to perform forced labor, and that they were not paid on time or at all, making some of them effectively slaves. Oh, shit. The Guardian estimated that by the time the competition will be held, without reforms of the kafala system, out of the 2 million strong migrant workforce, up to 4,000 workers could die due to lax safety and other causes. That sounds horrific. These claims were based upon the fact that 522 Nepalese workers and over 700 Indian workers had died since 2010, when the bid had been won, and about 250 Indian workers dying each year. Given that there are 500,000 Indian workers in Qatar, the Indian government said that was quite a normal number of deaths. YouTube is censoring them. You should see them if you're logged in on your mod account. I didn't even know there was a mod account on YouTube. I'd never looked into that. I never looked into it. Then you can manually approve them. Like 6 comments got pruned. I didn't even swear. Where's my... What? I don't even know if I got that, dude. What? Up on the chat somewhere? Manage moderators, participants, toggle timestamps, send feedback. Semiac. Most of them are from Nepal, Bangladesh, and India. That's what it just said here, I guess. After visiting a labour camp, Sharon Burrows of the ITUC stated, if 2 years on since the award of the World Cup, the Qatari government has not done the fundamentals, they have no commitment to human rights. The Qatar 2020 committee said, our commitment is to change working conditions in order to ensure a lasting legacy of improved worker welfare. We are aware this cannot be done overnight, but the 2022 FIFA World Cup is acting as a catalyst for improvements in this regard. So not overnight, but you've got like 8 years to get it, or 10 years to get it, from 2012 to 2022. In September of 2013, The Guardian reported that, so about 2 years after they were awarded the tournament, The Guardian reported that workers had faced poor conditions as companies handling construction forced workers to stay by denying them promised salaries and withholding necessary worker ID permits, rendering them as illegal aliens. The report stated that there was evidence to suggest workers face exploitation and abuse. A video shown to the labour rights group showed men living in dilapidated labour camps under unsanitary conditions. Dang, dudes, all to kick a ball around a pit of turf. You should see it. You have to be logged in as an owner or a mod. I am logged in, man. I've got the chat popped out. I'm logged in. I don't know where I've got to click to see that. I don't see anything aside from the 3 dots. And when you click the 3 dots, it says manage moderators, participants, toggle timestamps, or send feedback. I don't see any hidden comments, dude. Top chat. Live chat, all messages are visible. It should appear in the chat. What should appear in the chat? I don't know what I got to do, dude. I'll show you what I got up there. The chat up there. The chat is just up there on the screen. It's got live chat. It's got a little drop down. It's got top chat. Some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Live chat. Are you sure you're logged in? I'm literally streaming to YouTube. How can I not be logged in? How could I not be logged in at that point? So I'm just going to continue because I don't know where I've got to. I mean, unless you want me to go into my YouTube studio, I mean, I can do that for you. Not on that browser. I've got to do it on this browser. I'm going to my YouTube studio here. Where am I going for this? Is there a chat from Streamlabs or web-based YouTube? I'm not even touching Streamlabs, dude. This chat's YouTube. You don't need studio? It's asking me to verify it's me because I'm already. So this sucks. I'm logged in and YouTube's saying verify it's me. Unbelievable. And now it's going to ask me to dump. Get the hell out of there. Oh no, it went straight in. It went straight in. Okay, so you don't need studio? Well, where else would moderator stuff be hidden, dude? What ideas for you? Okay, this is taking me away from the stream, dude. I'm just gonna go back into what I was doing. This is taking me away from the stream, dude. We got a lot of content to get through. Unless you, you know what? Here we go. Here we go. Perdsky. I just added you as a mod. You can sort it out. You can sort it out on your end, dude. You can sort it out. I'm just going to get back onto what I was doing. Get that out of there. I see 7 watching and only 3 likes. Fucking hell. Come on. 7 of you watching and I've only got 3 upvotes. Jesus, you guys. I can't take you anywhere. And look at me. I'm all over the place now. And I'm doing this for you and I've only got 3 likes. That sucks to see. All right, I'm going to take a break. All right, let's move on, folks. Let's move on. So, where were we? We were reading about the kafala system So I feel like all this content we actually read beforehand. Yeah, the journalists that were arrested, we read about that. So all of these human rights issues seem like they existed before the kickoff. And I guess what we're doing now today is trying to look at the things that have popped up since the kickoff. So I feel like, and I don't know for a fact, but I feel like we read all of this previously. Yeah, I'm pretty certain this content existed beforehand. We'll take a look from here down, women's rights. But before we do, I'll just read the chat because now Perdsky, he's a mod. So it says, now it won't censor me. As I was saying, they bought it. They lied. They had no regard for anybody other than their own nationals. Human rights abusing fascists. They don't even have a link to football. Well, that's proven. They sucked hard in the actual game, right? They didn't do very well. Who would have thought Infantini, which was the previous president of the FIFA, he would turn out to be even more corrupt and incompetent than Blatter, right? The Miss Croatia controversy, I guess we'll get to that. But I do see 5 upvotes now and 6 watching. This is a better number. Thank you for whoever did go ahead and like the stream. I appreciate that. I was getting a little tetchy there. And I thought if I'm going to get tetchy, it's easy just to jump off. You know what I did? I just went to the bathroom, filled up my water, came back, and I feel much better. Thank you very much for biding your time with me. I'm not going to get angry on a Saturday morning. Women's rights. Discrimination against women was also criticised. Women in Qatar must obtain permission from their male guardians to marry, study abroad on government scholarships, work in many government jobs, travel abroad, receive certain forms of reproductive health care, and act as the primary guardian of children, even if they are divorced. Now, you could say that's all garbage, and it sounds pretty rubbish to me, but that's their religion, right? You can't have, on this planet, you can't have multiculturalism and then you can't get upset when one religion does one thing and one does the other. If you're going to have this mixing of people, you're going to have to put up with something that doesn't sit well with you, something that sits well with you. It's kind of like when you go to a public park and there's a barbecue and maybe the barbecue hasn't been cleaned after the last yahoos have used it, and you go to use it and you're like, really? I got to clean this shit before I can even use it? Well, it's multi-use, right? Some people do clean, some people don't clean. If you're going to have multi-use, maybe sometimes you'll get it clean, other times you won't get it clean. That's kind of the way I look at it. It's not really a religion, it's tradition. Either way, tradition, culture, religion, they're all tangled together. And if we're going to all blend together, we're going to have to accept that this might happen, where someone might start going, and you might be like, that's a bit crazy. That's their religion. Let them do the you might go, and they might go, each has got their own, right? You got to accept that they're all going to be there for you in the same space, especially when it comes to sports. Of all the things that this could kick off, it's from a sporting event. Like, could you imagine if this was like, imagine if this actually meant something. This is just a game, let's not forget. This is just a game. This is like, if the aliens were looking down from outer space, they'd be like, oh, this is what the humans do for fun? Then why is it causing so much drama? This is supposed to be their downtime. This is not work. This is not like essential for life. This is their extracurricular outdoor pleasure time, yet all the controversy that kicks up. It's funny. If you look at it that way, it's funny. A Mexican employee of the World Cup organizing committee was accused of allegedly having sex outside of marriage. Ooh, heaven forbid. The women had previously reported rape. Now that's no good. However, the male claimed to have been in a relationship with her. Okay, you're with me. After which the woman was investigated for extramarital sex. Women in Qatar face the possible penalty of flagellation. Flagellation? What the hell is that? Flagellation or flogging, is the act of beating a human body, crikey, and a 7-year prison sentence. So she had nookie with someone who said, you're mine. She said, no, I'm not. Then she got flogged? Damn. If convicted for having sex outside of marriage, the criminal case against the organizing committee employee was dropped months after she was allowed to leave. Well, at that point, they got her out of there, right? LGBT issues. The legal status of LGBT civil rights in Qatar has attracted attention in the media. Homosexuality is illegal in Qatar, with offenders facing fines and up to 7 years imprisonment. Now, didn't I say at the beginning of the tournament, are there any trans players in the World Cup? I asked that question and I don't think we ever got an answer. Are there any not misgendered? Are there any cross-gendered players? Because that would obviously be huge, right? They wouldn't even be allowed in the country. I mean, if Australia wouldn't let bloody what's his name, Djokovic playing tennis because he hadn't got the jab, could you imagine if you were a man identifying as a woman? These guys wouldn't have a bar of that. Not flogged. Yeah, she didn't get flogged. Okay, got out of the country and not flogged. The HRW reported that Qatar has arbitrarily arrested LGBT people and subjected them to ill treatment. Okay, the Gay Times. Is this an article? Is this a UK based? They could have gone better with their name, the Gay Times. The Gay Times reported that there are no known cases that the death penalty was enforced for homosexuality in Qatar, so there isn't any known cases. FIFA President Sepp Blatter initially said, this is the guy here, I would say they should refrain from any sexual activities. So if you're gay and you're going to the World Cup, just hold off on the nookie thing. That's none of your business, dude. I would say they should refrain from any... So if you're going to go, if you want to go to the World Cup and you like men and you are a man, or if you want to go to the World Cup and you like women and you're a woman, the message from the ex-president is just hold off on the sex thing while you're there. Just enjoy the football. When you get back on the plane, maybe you can join the Mile High Club on the way home. While you're in that country, though, just ease up on the sex thing. No wonder he's the ex-president, right? He later added that we don't want any discrimination. So I guess it's like, don't look. Ask me, what is that? Ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies. Just don't have sex, so therefore we can't discriminate against you. Dugsky, she had sex and got flogged, but homosexuality just gets the jail sentence. Oh, she did get flogged. Right. But homosexuality also gets a jail sentence. Potsky, I'm close friends with a lot of Arabs and they hate them more than I do. Wow. He continues, what we want to do is open this game to everybody and to open it to all cultures. And this is what we're doing in 2022. What about the culture of sex? What about if you want to? What about if your thing is I want to go to the World Cup and get as much nookie as possible, and I'm gay? Well, maybe wait to 2026. 2026 is USA, Canada, and Mexico, I believe. So it's in multiple areas. After rumors and allegations that Qatar would introduce medical screening tests to detect and ban gay people from entering the country. What? How? What? How do, when? What about, what? There's a medical screening test for this? You are gay. The medical screening test proves it. By a compatibility score of 78%, you like men. No Qatar stamp in your passport. Didn't even know there was a medical screening test for this. LGBT rights activist Peter Tatchell. I thought that said an A. Peter Tatchell. I was going to say touch all. There's a joke to be made there, but I'll refrain. LGBT rights activist Peter Tatchell said that the FIFA now has no option but to cancel the World Cup in Qatar. Wow. However, no such screening test exists. I didn't think so. It was later revealed that this proposal came from Kuwait and not Qatar. Oh, okay. Interesting. In January 2022, openly gay Aussie footballer Josh Cavallo, this guy, Josh Cavallo, is an Aussie professional footballer, plays as a left-back central midfielder for A-League. So is he on the Aussie team? On the under 20s. Suggested he would support the World Cup happening in Qatar if it could cause laws to be changed, describing the possibility as a fantastic opportunity for the nation. What happened there? He didn't make it? Didn't go? I don't know how that works, but he plays for the under 20s under 20 national team. I guess he's too young or something. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He's not on the Socceroos, right? Because that would be what I asked. Is there? Well, no, I asked for trans, but is there? Well, I guess I didn't know. But is there now? Are there gay? Is there gay football players in the World Cup? I guess we'll find out. On several occasions, the Qatari organisers had promised to comply with FIFA rules on promoting tolerance, including the LGBT issues. But on 8th of December 2020, Qatar announced that the rainbow flag will be allowed in the stadiums. Will be allowed. There definitely are gay... Potsky, there definitely are gay football players. Okay. Must be very frustrating being an Arab in modern times. Yeah, dude. I mean, well, hold on a second. It must be very frustrating being an Arab and a football fan. Because let's not forget, you don't have to go to these events. Like, depends how mad you are for football. Me personally, once every 4 years, I'm mad to the point where I'll watch the games on my telly. But as far as traveling to Qatar to support my team, more than likely not. But if you are into it and you are gay, it's going to be difficult. Well, it would have been. It might not be from now on, but maybe they changed it. Well, I mean, they said they allowed the flag. Then again, what a flag? Like, wave the flag? You can wave it? How far could you take that though? Like, well, I guess you couldn't just go having heterological. You couldn't just have heterosex I was going to say, could you wave the flag and be gay? But what does that even mean? You can't be hetero and go around having sex, so why can you be gay going around having sex, right? Just because you're waving the flag. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, as they should, they allowed the flag. I mean, if they banned that flag, then that's pretty poor, right? On 8th of December 2020, they announced the rainbow flags will be allowed in the stadiums. Nasser Al-Khattaar, 2022 World Cup chief executive, said, when it comes to the rainbow flags in the stadiums, FIFA have their own guidelines. They have their rules and regulations, whatever they may be. Will we respect them? Fair enough. They did ban it. The flags are being confiscated. The wiki doesn't reflect that. Oh shit, really? On 21st September 2022, Football Association England chief executive Mark Bullingham said that there had been assurances that LGBT couples would not face arrest while holding hands or kissing in public. Wow. Oh shit. So just kissing it. Oh crikey. They were going to get arrested for that? Dang. That's not even sex. When did sex become holding hands and kissing? I guess it means tongue kissing, right? I mean, a little peck on the cheek, you know? I don't know, a little peck on the cheek. Don't the soccer players kiss each other? They do, don't they? They kiss and embrace after a goal. Shortly before the tournament commenced, former Qatar international player and World Cup ambassador Khalid Salman described homosexuality as a damage in the mind. Damn, that's harsh wording. Damage in the mind. In an interview with German broadcaster ZDF, which led to further criticism, including the German government. The interview was cut short following the comments. Whoa, crikey. Team apparel. Several European captains, those of England, Wales, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, and the Netherlands, were planning to wear One Love armbands. Okay. That looks like a D-Live emote. One Love, which feature a multicolored design and the phrase One Love. This was intended to promote inclusion and send a message against discrimination of any kind, widely seen as tacit support of the LGBTQ plus community. Man, there's too many acronyms, isn't there? Just leave it alone. Yeah. Too many. Lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, and more plus? Wow, there needs to be an overriding term, right? That's too many numbers, too many letters to remember. Wildly seen as tacit support of those letters, some felt it targeted Qatar's anti-LGBT. What about the Q and the plus now? Forget the queers and the pluses? Is this plus? What does plus mean? Is it mean additional or does it mean plus size? It can't mean plus size, does it? The LGBTQ plus. The plus in that doesn't mean plus size. Surely not. I don't think it does. Queer plus everybody else. I mean, that's what it should stand for. LGBT, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, plus everybody else, which basically is everybody. So it should just say everybody. Like that, like, yeah, what? I'm just getting confused here. Why do we have to stipulate everybody? Like, why is it, shouldn't there be an H there for hetero as well? LGBTQH for hetero? Because aren't we talking about everybody? I don't know. Okay, the plus. Forget the plus. On the 21st of November, after the tournament had started but before any of the European nations had played, the relevant football associations were told players would receive yellow cards if they wore the armband. What? Really? Who told them that? The relevant football associations. So not the FIFA dudes? Really? They would, if they wore that armband, they'd be getting a yellow card. That's hectic. FIFA was criticised by fans and the football associations for forcing captains to choose between representing their countries and using their voice. With the pride in football, LGBTQ+, now we're back to all of them, supporters group also criticising the players for not doing so anyway, saying, a token gesture from the start that has turned into another embarrassment from FIFA. But it wasn't FIFA doing it, it was the associations. But FIFA should have stepped in and said, no, we're allowing it. FIFA have had since September to sort this, and yet they wait until now to threaten sanction. FIFA is denying players their fundamental and most basic human right to freedom of speech. Well, freedom of dress, right? Freedom of, you're not speaking, you're just wearing an armband. Isn't dress like clothing isn't speech, is it? Freedom of expression. Countries, teams and players are happy to defend LGBTQ plus people until they themselves are at risk. LGBTQ plus Qataris face a bigger punishment than just a yellow card. Yeah, I imagine so. The gestures and the activism ended quite easily at the thought of reprimand. Yeah, right. I'm just imagining, like, what would happen if every single member of a team came out wearing that band? Would they all get flagged as a yellow card before they've even kicked off the game? I mean, that'd be controversial. Hey, like, imagine like Australia came out and said, nah, fuck that. We're wearing the armband. And they all went, you're all yellow carded, and including your bench. And then they went, fine, we all cop a yellow card. Now let's play the game. And they kept the armband on. I would love to have seen that. Yeah, FIFA threatened this. I think that'd be cool to see. The UK, England and Wales, and the United States governments also criticised FIFA for introducing player punishment for the armbands. It's a shame a country didn't call their bluff. So nobody did. I mean, I'm still watching the group phase because I'm behind, but no one stood up and said that's lousy. Would have been a pivot. It would have been critical. Hey, like it would have been awesome to see. British newspaper Metro changed its website logo to a rainbow to protest the FIFA decision. Also on 21st of November, FIFA rejected Belgium's away jerseys due to the word love being on the inside of the collar, even though it was unrelated to any campaign supporting LGBT rights. The United States included a rainbow in their team branding, replacing the red stripes in their logo with different colored ones to create a pride rainbow, but only used this for facilities used by the team, not on the jerseys. So FIFA was really strict on no visual indication of support for LGBTQ+, is what I'm understanding. Emoji token. Hello, Gibbs. This is Redco. Hey, Redco. How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. Do me a solid, smack the like if you're here and you're liking the stream. I see 7 likes and 5 watching. Cancel that. I think that's a good number. 7 likes versus 5 watching. Forget I even asked. It's a good number. Dugsky, I doubt any team would do it this late in the tournament. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Here's a call out to the finalists. Oh, wouldn't this be amazing? Imagine both teams that make the grand final, both of them come out wearing it. Oh, dude, please make the world do this. Make somebody, whoever's watching that has access to the teams that are going to win. I don't even know who it looks like it could be. It could be France, right? The quarterfinal coming up with France and England. Hey, either way, whoever gets to the grand final, please, 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 both teams do it. Not just one team, both of them come out going, there's the armband, fuck you FIFA, armband on, we're all on a yellow, then we're all equal. That'd be so cool. Please, someone spread this out. Can we get a hashtag? Hashtag One Love Armband for both teams at the World Cup Grand Final. Because if it's everybody, then they're all equal at that point. The FIFA go, okay. Imagine they came out one at a time. They had it behind their back, and they were like, the captain comes out and he's like, I'll take the yellow, and then the team comes out behind. The goalie comes out going, I'll take the yellow. Then the midfielder comes out, I'll take the yellow, and they all go, I'll take. And then the other team goes, we'll take the yellow, and they're all out there going, we've all got the yellow. Equal. That'd be so cool. That's my fantasy, human rights for all or for nobody. That would be amazing. Let's spread it, man, and get it out there. I mean, I'm not the only one probably saying this, right? Emoji token, do you know Qatar can't allow this? Taliban will be disappointed. It doesn't matter. At the point that they're on the field, at the point that the game is about to be played with a stadium full of people, broadcasting rights across the fucking planet, sponsorship deals up the wazoo, and the team comes out going, what, you can't allow us to wear this armband saying we support this movement? Well, we're wearing it. What are they going to do? Boot them all off the field? There's a World Cup to be played in 10, 9, and then all of a sudden, I just said I wouldn't go to the country to support this game, but if that was planned up, I'd probably get over there just to witness it. That'd be so cool. The links that the Taliban have with Qatar, I don't know about that, dude, but I'm just saying, like, it would be a very pivotal moment in history for everybody, regardless of whether you're LGBTQ plus or whatever it is, if you support the idea. And I thought we all did. I thought we were all supposed to be mingling together, you know, bringing this all one love, the world game, then show it, right? Don't just fucking talk about it. Do it. I really want to see that. It won't happen. Without the Taliban, the stadium could not be built. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, there's the World Cup at stake here. Like, players are like, nah, dude, we trained for 4 years for this. We're not going to blow it by wearing an armband. I just wish they would, you know, bring it all down. Make it all equal. So where were we? Here we go. On November 22, the German Football Association, DFB, announced that they'd be taking legal action against FIFA for the decision. Wow. Submitting a case to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, the German team played their first match the next day and covered their mouths and their hands. What? They covered their mouths with their hands during the team photo as a protest against FIFA, signaling they'd been silenced. Has anybody got a link to that? I guess there's a link right here. That'd be cool to see. They covered their mouths with their hands. Wow. Now you got a block. He got an ad blocker here. Get out of there. Get him out of there. I don't want that. You've reached your limit of free articles. Get him out of there. Interesting. The Football Association, FA, England's football's governing body, also announced they were exploring legal options, saying that it understands World Cup rules would only administer a fine for kit violations, and that FIFA may be attempting to enforce IFAB rules, which could allow them to implement other sanctions and which England believe should not apply to the World Cup instead. Perdsky, there's no country that has facilitated Taliban more than Qatar, not even Pakistan. Wow. On 23rd of November, the Danish Football Association, DBU, revealed that FIFA had not planned to tell the European teams of the potential punishment for wearing the One Love armband. So FIFA didn't even say that if you do this, you're going to cop a yellow. It was just written into the rules without anybody knowing. And that FA called FIFA to their team hotel for an emergency meeting. On the 21st of November, the day of England's first match, and that at this meeting, FIFA told the collected teams a yellow card would be the minimum punishment for wearing the armbands. This is fucked up, hey? So they sprung it on them the night before? Wow. With other possibilities including banning the captains altogether. So if your captain wears the armband, he's banned from the stadium. One world game, huh? The DBU also confirmed that they and other UEFA teams were discussing a blanket withdrawal from FIFA. Hell yeah. Without the teams, there's no game, right? And they said that they would not support the re-election of Gianni Infantino as FIFA president while they were still members. This is on the same day. So this is the day of the opening game. On the same day, a Danish TV2 reporter wearing a One Love armband while broadcasting from outside of a stadium was approached by security officials who told him to remove the armband and tried to block the camera. The Football Association of Wales said they would not withdraw from FIFA, but were otherwise heavily critical, and they put up rainbow flags at their outdoor training grounds in protest. So it sounds like people were pissed at this, but no one was willing to really go down hard on the line and say, well, we're going to stand up for it, which is a bit of a shame. I would love to see a team that went, you know what? We're going to forfeit our game at this tournament because this is lousy. No one seems to have done that, though. They've kind of gone, yeah, that's pretty shitty, but what are we willing to forego for it? Not a lot. We'll put up a flag outside of our training ground, though. Also on 23rd of November, the Irish Foreign Minister Simon Coveney criticised the World Football governing body in his country's parliament, describing it as absolutely extraordinary that FIFA has effectively chosen to lean on national football associations in different countries to prevent players wearing an armband to support the LGBT. He also said this is political intervention by FIFA to limit freedom of expression. That's what I was saying, not speech, freedom of expression, which is worthy of significant mention and criticism. Right on. Who's this guy? Simon Coveney, this guy. Right on. Fans began buying One Love armbands after the ban. Okay. I'm sure there was a crypto token called One Love that came out as well. Fans began buying One Love armbands after the ban, and according to Badge Direct, who produced the armbands, they were sold out on 24 November. In response, FIFA allowed teams to wear the official no discrimination armbands intended for the quarterfinals during the group stage. What? So FIFA have their own no discrimination armband? They won't let them wear the... Okay, so hold on. So FIFA don't allow you to express yourself using a globally recognized logo, One Love, but they'll make their own. And you can wear that. Why? So FIFA isn't against you expressing yourself for a rights movement, if you like, as long as you use the expression that they enforce, not one that the whole world has adopted. This just gets weirder and weirder, right? Don't try to apply logic or truth when it comes to FIFA. Right. It doesn't make much sense, does it? Other attendees apparel. So you can't even be a tourist and do this. US journalist Grant Wall was this guy here. No image. Was detained for half an hour before the United States opener against Wales. He was wearing a black shirt with a rainbow on the front. He was told his shirt was not allowed due to it being political. That's like Adam Corbett at my year 10 school formal. He wore a Guns N' Roses t-shirt, which had on the back of it GNF&R, Guns N' fucking Roses. Here today, gone to hell tomorrow. That was the slogan. He wasn't allowed to come into the formal. So this has existed for a long time, is what I'm saying. But this guy's wearing a black shirt with a rainbow on it. Ooh, a black shirt with a rainbow. Must be political. Jesus. After 25 minutes, a security commander allowed him into the venue and apologized, as they should, and he also received an apology from a representative of FIFA. No shit. Imagine they said, you can come in, sir, but you've got to take that black shirt off with that rainbow and put this black shirt on that we'll give you with a little different rainbow. but it's still a black shirt with a rainbow, but it's our one. Female Wales fan and Football Association of Wales staff, including former Wales football captain Laura McAllister, had rainbow bucket hats. Yep. Produced by the FAW, confiscated at the same game. The FAW said that they were extremely disappointed and that they would be raising the incident with FIFA the following day. FIFA subsequently opened talks about rainbow apparel with Qatari officials on the 22nd of November. A Brazilian journalist had his phone seized by authorities when people mistook a flag representing his state, Pernambuco, state in Brazil, 9.6 million people. Their flag, which includes a rainbow with a larger design for an LGBT flag. Other Brazilian fans from the region reported similar incidents, having flags taken from them because of the rainbow. So rainbows basically means the end of the rain, but it's also a symbol for freedom of expression. But if you happen to like rainbows, you're out of luck, eh? Like the rainbows in my chat, just a emoji token. Just be aware. There might be some FIFA crew watching. We're not here as part of FIFA though. Perdsky, last year in Saudi, they raided toy shops and markets and took to landfill anything with a rainbow on it. That's a bit extreme, isn't it? According to BBC reporter Natalie Perks, she and a cameraman were prevented from entering Al Bayat Stadium ahead of the England vs United States Group B game on the 25th of November because the cameraman was found to have a rainbow-decorated watch and a strap in his possession. This is comical at this point, right? Absolute morons. Yeah, fully, Perdsky. This had been gifted to him by his son. Perks said they were eventually permitted entry to the stadium after dialing a number aimed specifically at media personnel to help them if they encountered difficulties. Fair enough. According to The Guardian, a reporter for the Times newspaper was questioned at the same stadium around the same game because of a wristband they were wearing. I know FIFA very well as the Swiss. They always have two faces. Is that right? Despite FIFA reassuring fans that rainbow-coloured apparels would be allowed inside the stadium, Qatari officials continued to confiscate rainbow-coloured items from several fans. Now, what about face paint? What about face paint of the rainbow? One fan attending a Group A final round game involving the Dutch national team on 29 November had a security guard scream in his face and was forced to take off a multicolored baseball cap he was wearing and then forced to strip his clothes, including his underwear. Shit. Then his cap disappeared. And was it a magic cap? Poof, the cap disappeared. He took his clothes off and poof, the hat disappeared. And that was a magic trick. I'm trying to make light of this because this is fucking stupid, right? His cap disappeared and security staff claimed he wasn't wearing one at all. You might think I was... Now, what was that Simpsons episode? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if that is your real name, what color tie am I wearing? You are wearing a Windsor... You are wearing a red and white striped tie and a half Windsor knot. Well, that might surprise you to find out that I'm not wearing a tie at all. That's what happened here. He claimed he wasn't wearing his cap disappeared and security staff claimed he wasn't wearing one at all, only for it to emerge from behind a scanner. Whoops! Damn scanners. Then when his ticket was being checked, he was told to stand in the corner where he was surrounded by 7 people, 4 of whom were police and 1 of whom was wearing a FIFA uniform. Further threats. So this is because he wore a baseball cap, which obviously had a rainbow on it? Heavens above. Switzerland really showed its stripes by not bringing Blatter to justice. Very disappointing. Blatter was not the problem. It's the whole organisation. Homophobic football chants. All right, this is going to be cool. A perennial issue in the sport in some countries, homophobic football chants were reported to be heard at the first match involving Mexico and Ecuador, particularly from Ecuador fans towards Chile, and the Qatar team during the tournament's opening match, with FIFA opening hearings to determine disciplinary action. Mexico was subject of a second disciplinary measure from FIFA after the final group stage match against Saudi Arabia because of homophobic chants. So are they saying people were people in the crowd were calling out homophobic chants? I mean, if it's against a country that bans gay people, it'd be good to call out anything to do with being gay. Like, you know, like, I don't know what the chants were, but like, I can't imagine. And by the way, how do you make it heard in those stadiums? Like, I can't hear anything except just like incessant droning and yelling. I can't imagine someone getting up with a chant that would be super audible, like, you know, I'm gay, I'm on Tinder, swipe right or something. I don't know, like, I can explain that. It's not against anybody. The Olympic organization is the same with corruption. Let's not touch the Olympics. Let's leave it at the FIFA guys right now, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to work out what that would be, because some countries, in particular Qatar, obviously have a problem with gay people. So were the chants in support of or against gay people? I don't know. Pre-tournament involvement of Albert Speer. It's crazy, right. Semiak says, when a goalkeeper kicks the ball at a goal kick, Mexican fans yell, put. Okay. Put what? Put it in my ass! I mean, it really means nothing regarding orientation. Just the word put? Is that the only thing they chanted? Put. Something like if you say, I won't say that word in the stream, but I get what you're saying. It's just for fun. Yeah, right. Okay. But is that against gay people or for gay people? It's puto. Puto. Okay, I've never heard of it. Puto or puto? Mexican fans yelling at any other team? It means ass. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if FIFA are gonna bring up or make such a big deal about what people do in their own private sexual lives, if FIFA are gonna make that a determining factor from whether you can be in a stadium or whether you can be in a team that supports that, then they're asking for people to call this shit out, right? It's basically saying, all right, we think this, we all know you hate it. Of course you're gonna get people. It's lucky they banned alcohol, because if you had alcohol in this mix, wow, it would be way worse than just someone yelling out puto. It'd be way worse than that, right? If there was booze. Do you know, I saw cuts from the stadium to fans, and I saw plenty of people with beer, or what looked like beer in glasses. Was there some beer available, or was it just like certain areas? Like maybe they were like the VIPs or something. It's nothing to do with sexual orientation or anything about it. Yeah. You got to be fully Mexican to understand it. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Albert Speer, son of Hitler's chief architect and Minister of Armaments and War Production, Albert Speer? Son of the Hitler? Tell me he's got a moustache. He does too, doesn't he? He died... Albert Speer was a German architect and urban planner. He was the son of Albert Speer. Albert Speer is named the same... What? Come on. Be more original with your naming. Albert Speer was the son of Albert Speer. Adolf Hitler's chief architect before assuming the role Minister of... Okay. Okay, so what's his... So what? He was given the responsibility of designing the stadiums. Okay. Barney Roney, a senior sports writer with The Guardian, expressed disbelief that the Qatar Supreme Committee thought it the best vibe, the best shout, to involve an architect whose name is reminiscent of the Nazis. Well, it's not really him, is it? It's not him that was part of that. He's just born into that bloodline. It doesn't really mean he's responsible. According to Der Spiegel, Speer's stadium designs are a significant reason why Qatar was awarded the 2022 Football World Cup. Yeah, there's not much in that. I mean, that's... Semiak, What's very shitty about this is that FIFA penalizes Mexicans for this homophobic chant, being a country that does not accept homosexuality. We live in a crazy world. This is what I'm understanding. I'm understanding that this is all a little bit far-fetched, a little bit crazy. Corruption. There have been allegations of bribery or corruption in the Qatar 2022 World Cup selection process involving members of FIFA's executive committee. There have been numerous allegations of bribery between the Qatari bid and the FIFA members and executives, some of whom, including Theo Zwanziger and Sepp Blatter, were later recorded regretting awarding Qatar the tournament. Aw, shit. Yo, Aaron Joseph, sup, Pops? How you doing? Sup, Pops? Sounds like a sporting beverage. Are you feeling run down? Sup, Pops, for all your energy needs. Sup, Pops. In May 2011, allegations of corruption within the FIFA senior officials raised questions over the legitimacy of the World Cup being held in Qatar. According to the then Vice President Jack Warner, this guy, an email has been publicized about the possibility that Qatar bought the 2022 World Cup through bribery via Mohammed bin Hammaman, this guy, who was president of the Asian Football Confederation at the time. Qatar's officials in the bid team for 2022 have denied any wrongdoings. A whistleblower, revealed to be Fedra Al-Majid, alleged that several African officials were paid 1.5 mil by Qatar. She later retracted her claims of bribery, stating that she had fabricated them in order to exact revenge on the Qatari bid for relieving her of her job within them. She also denied being put under any pressure to make any retractions. FIFA confirmed receiving an email from her which stated the retraction. Okay, so there's not much in that. 2014 to 2015. In March 2014, it was alleged that a firm linked to Qatar's successful campaign paid committee member Jack Warner and his family 2 mil? That's a sweetener deal. The Daily Telegraph reported that it understands the US FBI is investigating this. Uh-oh. Sunday Times in June 2014 claimed to have obtained documents including emails, letters, and bank transfers which alleged that bin Hammaman had paid more than 5 mil. Wow, to FIFA football officials to support the Qatari bid. A lot of money floating around here, folks. In June 2014, Qatar Airways CEO Akbar Al-Bakr gave an interview to German media stating that allegations are being driven by envy and mistrust by parties who do not want the World Cup stage in Qatar. The country is not getting the respect it deserves over its efforts to hold the World Cup. He reiterated that the Qatari emir strictly punishes and forbids instances of corruption and bribery with a zero-tolerance policy. Doesn't sound like it. Aaron, tell you what, you earned a sub for that. Oh, I didn't see the sub come through, dude. Didn't see it. I've got subs turned on too, like alerts. Did she get paid to retract? Right. Good question, Era Dugsky. Good question. Yo, Hendrik, how you doing, man? Hello. What's cracking? Interesting. In an interview published on the 7th of June 2015, Dominica Scala, the head of FIFA's Audit and Compliance Committee, stated that there should be evidence that the awards to Qatar and Russia came only because of bought votes, and the awards could be cancelled. Or should there be evidence? Interesting. FIFA Ethics Investigation Report. In 2014, FIFA appointed Michael Garcia as the independent ethics investigator to look into bribery against Qatar and Russia, the host for 2018. Garcia investigated all 9. I feel like we've read this. We definitely read this, right? This is the allegations of corruption in the report. We did read this. We read all, this was all before, this is how they got the World Cup. This is all beforehand. We did read all this. Yeah, and this is why it was pushed back to later in the year. We read that as well. So I'm just trying to skim through this because it's such a lengthy document. It is a lengthy document, but we have read that, the scheduling. Yeah, the scheduling was because of the climate, yeah. And we read the costing involved as well. This is new though. Possible Israeli qualification. The head of the Qatar bid delegation stated that if Israel were to qualify, they would be able to compete in the World Cup despite Qatar not recognizing the state of Israel. Uh-oh. Israel ultimately were eliminated during the qualifications. Okay, so that was a non-starter. Russian participation after the invasion of Ukraine. After the Russian Federation's invasion of Ukraine in February this year, FIFA stated that matches would not be held in Russia, although Russia would still be able to continue its participation in World Cup qualifying, where it had reached Path B. Also in Path B was Poland, the Czech Republic, and Sweden, all of which refused to play against Russia in any form. Heck yeah, as did England, who already qualified for the tournament. On 27th of February, FIFA announced a number of sanctions impacting Russia's participation in international football. Russia was prohibited from hosting international competitions. The national team had been ordered to play all home matches behind closed doors in neutral countries. They may not compete under the name, flag, or national anthem of Russia. Wow! Similarly to the Russian athletes' participation in events such as the Olympics, the team would compete under the abbreviation of their national federation, the Russian Football Union, RFU, instead of Russia. Russia, fuck you. RFU, wow. That's an unfortunate acronym, isn't it? Russian Football Union doesn't stand for Russia, fuck you. The next day, FIFA decided to suspend Russia from the international competitions until further notice, including its participation in the 2022 World Cup. So let's not forget they hosted it the 4 years earlier, and then the war, and now they're not liked at all. Dunsky, will there be a stream on how Brisbane got the 2032 Olympics? No one else bid for it. Sure, we can do that another time. Red Ox, how you doing? Qatar is great, I love it. In July 2022, the Court of Arbitration for Sport dismissed the Russian appeals and upheld FIFA and the UEFA's decisions. Some observers, while approving of the boycott of Russia, pointed out that FIFA did not boycott Saudi Arabia for its military intervention in Yemen, or Qatar for its human rights violations, of which we've already read. What's this? The record. So this is why they are such a poor team, I guess. The Qatari football record. At the time of being awarded the tournament in 2010, Qatar was ranked 113th in the world. Now, where does Australia slot into that ranking? Are Qatar worse than Australia by a long, long, long way? And they'd never qualified for a World Cup beforehand. The most prestigious accolade the team had won was the Arabian Gulf Cup. They did that twice, both times after hosting it. Since being awarded the tournament, they've also won the Arabian Cup another time and the Asian Cup in 2019. So they're not too bad, right? Qatar became the smallest country by land area to host a World Cup, less than half the size of 1954 host Switzerland. These facts led some to question the strength of the football culture in Qatar and if that made them unsuitable for the World Cup as a host. In the chat, there won't be much content. Just have it. Just here to have it. Just here have it. Red Ox Bear. So Russia isn't allowed in the World Cup because of its war. Why is the USA allowed then? Ooh, Red Ox. Australia is 38 as per FIFA ranking. So 38 plays 113. Yeah, interesting. The Qatari Football Association has also been known to naturalize players from foreign nations for its own team. Examples include Sebastian Soria, this guy, Luis Junior, this guy, Emson Sheikh, this guy. The Qatar FA has previously attempted to offer incentives to uncapped players of other nations to switch allegiance to the Gulf state. These have included the German-based Brazilian trio Eitan, Dede, and Leandro, none of who have ever played in or have had connections to Qatar to help their team qualify for the 2006 World Cup. FIFA blocked the moves and as a result tightened eligibility requirements for national teams. Okay. With a 2-0 loss to Ecuador on the tournament's opening day, Qatar became the first host nation to lose their opening match at a World Cup. So that's a record. Qatar subsequently lost 3-1 to Senegal in their second group match, becoming the first team to be eliminated from the tournament. They lost their final group game 2-0 to the Netherlands, becoming the first and only host to lose all of their games. Oh, shit. So they didn't perform very well. Wow. Hassan Abdullah Al Thwadi, this is about alcohol, chief executive of the Qatar 22 World Cup bid, said the Muslim state would also permit alcohol consumption. We read this, didn't we? That it have specific fan zones where alcohol could be bought. Expatriates may purchase alcohol and sell alcohol with a permit. Drinking in public is not permitted under Shari law. We read this, yeah. In February 22, the Communications Executive Director at the Supreme Committee, Fatima Al-Nuami, stated in an interview, alcohol will be available. So this is the only update. On the 30th of November, the Times published an interview with some female fans attending the World Cup, with some of them saying that less drunkenness among other attendees made them feel safer at the stadiums than they expected. Okay. So you can still get booze there, but it's less of it. November 2022, Infantino Communications, focus on the football letter. On the 5th of November, Gianni Infantino, this guy, and Fatma Samura sent out a letter to all participating nations telling them to cease and avoid any further or current discussion of Qatar's poor human rights records, to respect all opinions and beliefs without handling out moral lessons to the rest of the world, and to focus on the football. Bit hard if you're contradicting yourself, as to not allow football to be dragged into every ideological or political battle that exists. Notably, members of the UEFA working group such as Australia, Belgium, Denmark, England, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United States were specifically targeted for their involvement in trying to improve the conditions for migrant workers, women, and the LGBT people. All of the nations criticized the letter, stating FIFA acknowledged in their letter that football does not operate in a vacuum. However, they seem to be calling for that to be the case. History has shown us that the pursuit of such a strategy will be self-defeating and only further erodes football's social license to operate. Wow. So basically what I understand from that is that the FIFA basically said, fuck everybody. We just want to play the game of football and we don't care what you believe. Well, if that's the case, then allow all the things that they banned. Say, we're only here for the game, so we don't care about your sexuality. We don't care about your Shari law. We don't care about your boozing. We don't care. We just want to see the game. So allow all that like anywhere else and play the game. But instead it was ban this, ban that. What's this? Today I Feel address. On the 19th of November, Infantino gave an hour-long address to the media during a pre-tournament press conference, during which he defended the FIFA hosting of the tournament in Qatar, commenting upon pre-tournament developments such as the banning of alcohol. He opened by declaring that he felt Qatari, Arabic, African, gay, disabled, and like a migrant worker. He felt like a Qatarian and Arabian, and because he understood how it felt to be discriminated. So at one point you were for it and now you're for it. What? You're either against it or for it, dude. He's taken both sides here, right? Like what? Stand up for yourself, dude. He argued that criticism of the treatment of migrant workers by Western critics was hypocritical because for what we Europeans have been doing for 3,000 years around the world, we should be apologizing for the next 3,000 years before starting to give moral lessons to people. Infantino argued that none of the European companies who earn millions and millions from Qatar or other countries in the region had taken steps to address the rights of migrant workers like FIFA had, and suggested that Europe needed to be more open to accepting refugees and migrant workers. He asked, do we want to continue to spit on the others because they look different or feel different? We defended human rights. We do it our way. We obtain results. We got women fans in Iran. The Women League was created in Sudan. Let's celebrate. Don't divide. Isn't this the guy who said you can't be gay and be here? This is like such a backflip, right? In response to a last-minute prohibition on the sale of alcohol inside the stadiums, Infantino stated that it was a decision made jointly by FIFA and the organising committee, but argued that FIFA was still in 200% control of the event. Prohibitions on the sale of alcohol at sporting events were not exclusive to Qatar, and joked that if this is the biggest issue we have for the World Cup, then I'll resign immediately and go to the beach to relax. Go on then. He once again argued that people should focus on the football and direct their criticism to FIFA and me if you want, instead of Qatar. So hang on. Qatar is a dry country, right? You can't buy alcohol. You choose to have the World Cup in Qatar through multiple channels of alleged corruption, bribery, and all sorts of misgivings. And then when it comes up that, oh, and by the way, you can't have alcohol here because it's inside a dry country, you're saying don't look towards Qatar as the reason for that. We just chose that as FIFA. Fans are on big cruise ships for drinking alcohol and do other stuff. Is that where they're hanging out, not at the stadiums? The speech drew further criticism. The Associated Press labelled the speech an extraordinary diatribe and a tirade. The Guardian called it bizarre and incendiary. Infantino was accused of deflecting criticism of Qatar's human rights records. Amnesty International criticised Infantino for brushing aside legitimate human rights criticisms. Sky Sports pundit Melissa Reddy accused Infantino of engaging in whataboutism. That's a cool word. While Fair Square director Nicholas McGeehan described the remarks as being as crass as they were clumsy, feeling like talking points directly from the Qatari authorities. Writing for The Observer, Barney Roney described the address as being a wretched spectacle, not to mention myopic, tin-eared, and oddly lost, and felt that Infantino was clearly furious with his critics, furious that this thing cannot be bent to his will, and by the end it had become hugely engrossing just to see someone so blind to his own contortions, so shameless and quite clearly losing his grip on his own spectacular. Wow, that's one way of putting it. I mean, this guy's obviously not going to be in his job soon after this, right? Surely he gets bumped out. Surely he's bumped. What's this? The opening ceremony and the anthem? The weeks before the tournament began, singers Dua Lipa and Shakira announced that... Shakira? Is she still valid? What? Why don't we bring up Michael Jackson as well? They refused to perform at the opening ceremony and collaborate on the tournament anthem due to human rights violations. Fair enough. British singer Rod Stewart said he turned down a substantial offer to perform at the country. They offered me a truckload of money, more than $1 million to perform there. I turned it down. It's not right to go there. In addition, the league's ambassador Dave Beckham was criticised by the LGBT community in the UK for lending his face to the event in exchange for 10 mil. Talking about the fact former Spice Girls member Melanie C argued that it's complex for sports to change culture when so much money is involved. It is complex. $10 million complex. British singer Robbie Williams defended his choice to participate as a guest at the opening event, stating, "They gave me 10 mil. I don't condone any abuses of human rights anywhere, but they gave me 10 mil. But that being said, they gave me 10 mil. If we're not condoning human rights abuses anywhere, then it would be the shortest tour the world has ever known. They also gave me 10 mil. You get this microscope that goes, okay, these are the baddies. They gave me 10 mil. And we need to rally against them. They gave me 10 mil as well. I think that their the hypocrisy is that if we take that case is the place, we need to apply that unilaterally to the world. They also gave me 10 mil. Then if we apply that unilaterally to the world, no one can go anywhere. And they gave me 10 mil. I'm not suggesting Robbie Williams got 10 mil, but David Beckham did, so I'm assuming Robbie Williams would have got close to 10 mil. There are already people in the UEFA calling for his head and threatening a breakaway from FIFA. It sounds like he won't be there too much longer, right? After the announcement of the collaboration of the World Cup anthem Tuka Taka, performed by Trinidadian-born rapper Nicki Minaj, Colombian singer Maluma, and Lebanese singer Marmi Fariz, the three artists have been affected by a great deal of controversy for choosing to be paid to sing a song in an emirate whose internal policies involve the violation of human rights, women's rights, LGBT, as well as support of slavery and child exploitation. Singer Maluma replied to the charge by declaring, "It's something I can't resolve. They gave me 10 mil. It's not something that I can actually have to be involved with. They gave me 10 mil. I'm here enjoying my music and the beautiful life, playing soccer too, and they gave me 10 mil." Actor Morgan Freeman was criticised on social media by media outlets for participating in the tournament's opening ceremony, with reference made to his acting performance as Nelson Mandela. During Freeman's monologue, numerous spectators left the stadium in protest, but he would have got paid more than 10 mil. Treatment of fans. Jewish and Israeli fans. It's reported that the Qatar went back on its word to provide cooked kosher food and public Jewish prayer services at the 2022 World Cup, banning both activities. Whoops. Qatar alleged that they could not secure the safety of public praying Jewish tourists, while many foreign Jews complained that they subsequently had no food available to eat. It was estimated that 10,000 religious Jews from Israel and many more Jewish Americans arrived to watch the games. Multiple Israeli reporters at the tournament reported fans from Arab nations chanting anti-Israeli slogans. Some Israelis reported that they'd been escorted out of the restaurants. Okay, well, that's anecdotal. What's this? Paid fans? Paid to go to the game? What? How come I didn't get told about this before? They might have paid me to go there? Come on. I'm still keen. Pay me. 10 million? 10 million. David Beckham got it. You're not David Beckham. In 2020, Qatar began a fan engagement program promising to pay air travel, entrance tickets to matches, housing, and even spending money for groups of fans from all competing nations. However, fans who are handpicked by the Qatari government are required to sing and chant when asked. You don't need to ask me. I'll sing and chant, whatever it is. I'll get in there, right? I'm a paid shill. Pay me. And are required to report any social media posts which are critical of Qatar. Many fans reportedly declined the offer. You didn't ask me. I would have taken that up. On 18th of November 2022, it's reported that the Qatar had cancelled the daily spending allowance for fans. Oh, whoops. So they gave them a per diem, then they took it away. Whoops. Days prior to the start of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Qatar was accused of reportedly having paid actors to play the role of fans to promote the country. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They do it with celebrities. What's the difference with everyday regular Joes? They paid David Beckham 10 million to go over and say, Qatar, it's a hell of a destination. What's the difference if you pay local yahoos? I say split the 10 million that you gave Beckham and divvy it up amongst regular Joes. Qatar was similarly accused of having paid supporters when it hosted the 2015 Men's World Handball Championships. Well, they need as much help as they can get, right? Handball? What? Funnily enough, that's illegal in the game of football, but there's handball. Shit. During the World Cup, Nejma SC Ultras from Lebanon were employed by the Qatari government to act as Qatari national team fans during the games. The 1,500 adopted Ultras wore maroon t-shirts with Qatar stamped on the front, sang the national Qatari anthem and beat the drums, and it still didn't help the team. They lost every single game they played. They needed to spend more money on this crap, right? They needed to spend more foreign dollars. They should have reached out to Australia. Wait a second. To get Australians to sing and chant, you're going to need booze. I can see why that didn't happen, huh? Watch the video of the German fans at the parade. It's hilarious. They're all Indians. Okay, so they're all paid. Accommodation. Now, we read this. We did read this. In the days leading up to the tournament, videos emerged of the tournament accommodation, which consisted of shipping containers. This sounds like the Fire Festival. Some with a curtain leading to the exterior instead of 4 solid walls, and portable air conditioners. This cost $200 a night. A Greek salad, which costs $10, consisting of a small amount of lettuce. There's no lettuce in a Greek salad, though. Greek salad is like cucumber, feta, tomato, and olive, right? It didn't have feta. It had lettuce instead. Okay, so lousy food. This criticism led to the company's... Yeah, we have read this because it's mentioning the Fire Festival. Yeah, and beer was $13 for 500 mils. That sounds like Australian prices. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're used to those prices. We did read that, though. Provisions inside the stadiums. Qatar's bid chief executive Hassam Al Thwadi said heat is not and will not be an issue. Each of the 5 stadiums will harness the power of the sun's rays to provide a cool environment for players and fans by converting solar energy into electricity that will then be used to cool both fans and players at the stadiums. When games are not taking place, the solar installations at the stadiums will export energy onto the power grid. During matches, the stadiums will draw energy from the grid. This is the basis for the stadium's carbon neutrality. Along with the stadiums, we plan to make the cooling technologies we developed available to other countries in hot climates so that they too can host major sporting events. Keepy Uppy Challenge. What? Keepy Uppy? One self-described overweight fan. I told you LGBT plus meant overweight, right? Plus size. But here it is. One self-described overweight fan who had set a target of doing keepy uppies. I guess these are kick-ups, jump-ups. Keepy uppy. Did we read this? I feel like I know this. It's the skill of juggling with an association football using feet, lower legs, and knees, chest, shoulders, and head without allowing them. Okay, so anything but the ground. So he had a target of doing this outside each of the 8 stadiums at which matches in the tournament were played. So what is this? This is a dude with a mission. Was set upon by 4 officials who surrounded him from contrasting directions outside Al Bayat Stadium. What? The fan said, I was a bit worried as it's daunting being in a foreign country and then being set upon by 4 security guards pinning you in. The officials demanded he delete the video he'd been filming, which was part of a lighthearted attempt to distract his YouTube audience from the doom and gloom of the world events. While playing Keepy Uppy near Stadium 974, Qatari officials twice drove him to a train station after pursuing him in a golf buggy. Okay, so what? That's a YouTube guy who's like, yeah, well, I haven't got a ticket in here because I'm going to wear a rainbow t-shirt, so I'm going to do this outside. And they didn't like it. Brass band instrument confiscation. What? Though not connected to any protest against Iran, the official Wales brass band had their instruments confiscated before the Group B Wales match. The brass band had been allowed to play at the previous Wales match, and FIFA officially supported their attendance. So what happened? I guess that's an isolated story. Security. A woman journalist from Argentina, Dominique Metzger, was robbed of items from her handbag during live reporting. When she approached the cops, they said, what justice do you want? What sentence do you want us to give him? Do you want him sentenced to 5 years in prison? Do you want him to be deported? So what, she got a bag back? Just give me my bag back. I think a dingo took my bag. Ticketing. Many England supporters missed the start of the Group B England vs Iran match due to problems with the FIFA ticketing app. That day, also, a FIFA app caused tickets belonging to fans of the United States to disappear. That's like that guy with his hat, right? Disappearing act. Media incidents. Security interference. Prior to the tournament, there were several reported incidents of altercations between broadcasters and Qatari security officials. Rasmus Tanthold of Denmark's TV2 was interrupted by a group of security guards during a live broadcast from Qatar, who threatened him and attempted to break their camera. Tanthold responded to the group saying, you have invited the whole world here. Why can't we film? It's a public place. Organizers apologized, claiming it was a mistake. Okay, so where was he? Doesn't say where he was filming. Maybe there's areas that you're not allowed to film at, something like that. RTE journalist Tony O'Donoghue accused Qatari police of stopping him during efforts to film in the country. I guess what I'm reading here is that there's sections of Qatar that are off limits to cameras, maybe? Dominique Metzger, a reporter from Argentina, had his wallet and important documents stolen from a bag during a live TV broadcast. With the tournament underway, television presenter Joaquim El Polo Alvarez from Argentina was interrupted by Qatari forces when he was in the middle of a live broadcast outdoors in Bawa Village, a complex in Doha specifically designed for Qatar's hosting of the tournament. Alvarez was interviewing an older supporter who was sitting in her wheelchair. He had to stop when asked if he was an accredited media representative and, with the help of a colleague, search for a press pass. But then an official became irritated and ordered the cameraman to stop filming, insisting that the outdoor street was private. Alvarez said that he was threatened with arrest. I was frightened and thought they were going to take me prisoner. It's impossible to work and enjoy a World Cup like this. The film crew also threatened with destruction of their equipment. Nicolas Magali, who was co-hosting the live broadcast from the TV studio in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, told viewers, "This is an example of severe censorship. We have to say so. They covered up the camera, didn't let us film, ordered you away in a rude fashion. On top of that, the person doing the talking didn't identify himself." I mean, what I'm seeing there would lead me to believe that they just might have areas in their city that they don't want you filming. Public areas have always been like open for filming It's when you get into a private enterprise, such as a train or a bus station, that then, well, in Australia anyway, then it becomes like, no, this is private. You can't film here and you got to get permission. But if you're out on a street, I don't know about Qatar, but generally streets are public. I don't know. Chinese censorship. CCTV, the state broadcaster, the official broadcaster of the World Cup in mainland China, replaced footage of maskless audiences with close-up of coaches, officials, or players, or bird's-eye view of the stadiums in its broadcast, as scenes of maskless audience attendance fueled unrest. Okay, so following the protests, Chinese government began to... So basically, because China is still in lockdown, still wearing masks, they don't want to see a whole bunch of football yobs without masks on, so they don't show them. It's kind of like there was a couple of incidences of... pitch invaders, like people getting over the barrier and running naked through the pitch, and as soon as you see that happening, they always cut to a tight shot of a player or something, and you don't see it. They don't want to broadcast the dude who managed to jump the security barrier and leg it onto the field. I say give that guy his 5 minutes, right? It's fun, right? It's fun. Algerian censorship. After the Group F Belgium v Morocco match, state-run TV of Algeria completely omitted the existence of the Morocco match due to tensions between Algeria and Morocco after Morocco beat Spain in the knockout stage. Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Bugger. Okay, they beat them. Algeria state TV channel and the Algeria press service also didn't mention Morocco's victory, although many Algerians celebrated for Morocco. Free the schlong. Were they naked running across the pitch, were they? I mean, look, if you can get past the security from the stadium and down onto the pitch, past all the photographers, over the barrier and onto the field, you deserve whatever 5 minutes of fame you can. You also deserve whatever the consequences of that are, possibly escorted out of the building and your pass revoked or whatever it is. But you do deserve a little bit of television, right? You got all the way down there. It's a big drop too, like. And photographers would have got photos of it, like. Yo, Pete Dovgan, if you're watching on Facebook, did you get any photos of that? I want to see that. Actually, I've been avoiding Pete's Facebook because he's over there photographing and I don't want to see, because he always posts up like sneaky shots and I'm like, I don't want to see that, dude. I want to wait to see the game. Where are we? Boycotts. Norway, Trosmo of Norway released a statement calling for a boycott. Modern day slavery, alarming number of deaths. Okay, so there's a boycott. In reaction to the Qatar diplomatic crisis, there's a German Football Association also tried boycotting. June 2021. I'm moving through this quickly because I feel like we would have read all this if it's old news. Pertsky, I have a French friend who did this multiple times throughout the world. He has some countries that he can't return to. Stadium bans have some big fines. Yeah. Oh, they definitely should get some kind of reprimand for sure. But I just don't agree with not showing it. Like, I also don't agree with when there's a mass shooting or a terrorist attack, they don't name the people. I think they should name them. Name and shame, I say. It's like giving a troll free run, right? Like, if they're never named, they can never be shamed. Like, imagine no one ever knew the name Jeffrey Dahmer. Right? You know the name Jeffrey Dahmer, so you know what he did and what it was. Otherwise, you're left in the dark. Like, some people know his name. Imagine they held his name. Imagine the media withheld his name. Only the cops knew it. Only the arresting officers knew it. Only the court people knew it. Nah, we should all know it. Like, why is it some that can know it and some that can't? I think that's stupid. Yeah. Whenever they do that, like Philly DeFranco does that. He's like, I'm not going to name anybody involved in this. I'm like, well, dude, I'll just go to the next news outlet to find the names. Because who are you to tell us what we should and shouldn't know? We are here to learn. It's like saying, next they're going to say, we're not going to tell you what they did. Someone broke in and did something. And you're like, what did they do? No, we're not going to tell you what they did because that'll encourage others. So somebody did something bad. We can't know what they did because we might do it as well. So why even tell us they did it? At that point, you might as well not say anything. The news is... There is no news, because I'm not going to tell you in case you want to do the things that you saw on the news. Where does it stop? I guess is my point. But yeah, we did read all these. So, incidents during the games. Iranian protests. In October 2022, calls were made to ban the Iranian national team from the World Cup. Their supplying of weapons. Oh, this is because of the Iranian government's blocking of Iranian women from the stadiums. Shit, they're supplying of weapons to Russia during the Iranian invasion. What was that noise? Don't worry about it. It's probably just the wind. Their treatment of protesters during the Mahmasa Amani protests. Since 1979, Iranian Revolution, the presence of Iranian women in Iranian stadiums has been illegal. Oh, it sucks to be a woman in Iran. They did quite well in the games I saw, by the way. When select Iranian women were allowed to enter the stadium after 40 years. However, in March 2022, Iranian women were again banned from entering the stadium from a World Cup qualifier, with the authorities using pepper spray to ban them. What the fuck? Former Iranian national team goalkeeper Sosha Makani called on fans to either boycott the event or create slogans and chants that highlight the Iranian government's involvement of the deaths of protesters Nika Shakimiran, Hadis Najaf, these people, to prevent the government from using footage of them in the stands as propaganda. While ex-wrestling champion Sadar Pashi called for a full ban of the national team until the government steps down. So what? Iran don't like women? Or you can't be a sports fan if you're an Iranian woman? Shit, man. In early November 2022, the Welsh government stated that they boycott the Group B Wales v Iran match due to the protests. Ahead of the country's opening game, Group B England vs Iran match, many Iranians boycotted their team as they felt it represented the government. Ahead of that opening game against England, the Iranian team refused to sing the national anthem in solidarity. Wow, that's heavy. With some Iranian supporters cheering against their own team. Huh. Here's an Iranian fan showing a banner, Women, Life, Freedom. Hell yeah. Get it up there. In the following match against Wales, amidst the boos and whistles from the Iranian supporters during the playing of the national anthem, the Iranian players were filmed singing the national anthem, with some protesters having their pre-revolutionary lion and sun flag and Women, Life, Freedom banners snatched from them by pro-government fans. So there was a upset amongst the fans. Heavy stuff, folks. Security guards at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium seized a flag with the inscription Women, Freedom, Life. Let me see that flag. From an Iranian fan before the Group B game between Iran and Wales, Reuters reported on several incidents including Iranian fans at the game, including a man wearing a shirt emblazoned with the words Women, Life, Freedom. He was escorted by 3 security officers into the ground, but was unable to confirm why he was being given a security escort. Well, your hat's going to disappear, dude. Is there a game being played right now? It's 10:42 a.m. Australia time on a Saturday morning. I can hear some chants outside of holidaymakers in the neighborhood. Is there a game being played right now? They're going off out there. Whatever's going on outside. They're either watching a football game or they're just getting drunk at 10:42 in the a.m. It's holiday season, folks. I live on the beach in a holiday town, so it's all mad at this time of the year. As well as Reuters' photograph, which showed a woman whose face was painted with a dark red tears. Another Iranian fan told Reuters that her friend had been prevented from entering the stadium due to their efforts to bring t-shirts reading Women, Life, Freedom, but that she had managed to get one shirt through the security blanket outside the stadium. Protesters were harassed by government supporters, with some protesters being detained by Qatari police. Hang on, what do the Qataris have against women? If the Iranian fans are trying to get these t-shirts in to then lift them up and show their support, why does Qatar have a problem with that? Does Qatar hate women as well? Or is there a tie-in between Iran and Qatar? Because why would they have a problem with that? Stadium security confirmed that they were given orders to confiscate anything but the flag of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Wow. Protesters against the regime covered the lenses of security cameras with sanitary pads. Oh, shit. What do they use to stick them up there? Oh, don't tell me it was pop out and pop on. Oh, no. One Iranian fan, and by the way, and the Chinese are banning the viewing of people not wearing masks, and you got women popping out their pads and sticking them on security cameras? Whoa. To be clear, it doesn't say they were used sanitary pads, but I was using my imagination. How else would they stick up there, you know? Argentina played Netherlands tonight. Is there a game being played right now, though? They must be watching a replay. One Iranian fan said Qatari police insisted she wash away the markings on her arms and chests, which commemorated those who'd been killed by Iranian security forces. Make it a tattoo then. Documents obtained by Iran International showed Iran was coordinating secret efforts within Qatar to control who attends the World Cup and restrict any signs of dissent. Dude, this is heavy, eh? I won't say who won if you don't know. Yeah, don't tell me any scores. I'm so far behind in my watching of this game. There's too many matches, right? There's too many games to be watched. Prior to what would be Iran's final fixture, Group B, Iran versus United States, Iran's state-run media called for the US team to be expelled from the tournament after the US Soccer Federation removed the Islamic Republic emblem from Iran's flag in a social media post. The US Federation confirmed it had done so to show support for the Iranian protesters before deleting the post. FIFA did not comment. For once, they're remaining quiet on something. The game finished 2.5 hours ago. No game on now. Okay, so they must be watching a replay. Who was it? Argentina and the Netherlands. Maybe we got a bunch of Dutch crew next door. Ahead of that concluding fixture against the United States, the Iranian players were reportedly called into a meeting with members of the IRGC and threatened with violence and the torture of their families if they did not sing the national anthem. Holy shit. If you do not sing the national anthem, you're an Iranian football player. You're on the World Cup stage. The whole world's watching. Before the game, you get called into a meeting and the IRGC, which is Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, they say to you, if you don't sing the anthem, your family is at risk. Fucking hell, dude. That is insanity. All for a game. All for kicking a little ball into a basket, a goal. What the hell? Everybody needs to take a chill pill. Everybody needs to calm the fuck down. It's just a game. I can't believe I'm reading this. They need more booze. Everybody needs to get drunk and just chill the fuck out. This is crazy. They're going to torture your families if you don't sing? What if you're not a singer? What if you're a Larry David, doesn't sing at like birthdays, doesn't sing at anthems? I don't like singing at the anthem. Probably would sing if I was in a sporting team though. It's, you know, representation. But what if you're not a singer? What if you don't do that? You better start learning how to sing, otherwise your family's in jeopardy. Wow, man. During the match, the Iranian players sang the national anthem again before losing to the United States for the first time in their history. So they all sang. No shit, you all sang. They'd all be singing loudly. Like they'd be like, "Is this loud enough? Should we go higher? No families, no death. Keep going. Go a little louder, folks. We want to make sure no one dies here." Damn, dudes. Many Iranians celebrated the defeat, and one Iranian man was killed by security forces after honking his car horn in celebration. Are you fucking kidding me? Many Iranians celebrated the defeat, and one Iranian man was killed by security forces in Bandar el-Azali. That's in Iran. Population of 144,000. After he honked his car horn in celebration. Don't fucking hit that horn, dude. What? You can't make this shit up. You can't, Pertsky. This is heavy. Another Iranian fan was arrested by Qatari police after he was wearing a t-shirt with women. Okay, you don't wear that shirt. Man. All of this to kick a ball. Like, I mean, is it worth it at that point? Like, is it worth dying to kick a football around? I'm going to say it's not. Like, I like this game. Every 4 years, I'm on that bandwagon. But is all this shit worth it? I don't think it's worth it, eh? Like, it's going to be... Whenever a team wins, whoever wins, right? I'm going with France. Mbappe is great to watch. When France win the 2022 World Cup, it's going to be at a price, right? Like all this shit that's gone down in all these conflicting countries, people dying, you're going to hold that thing up in the air is it going to be worth it at that point to know that your team won at the expense of all this other crap? I don't know if it's worth it, eh? Don't go around a roundabout and get angry and beep your horn. You might die inadvertently. They might think you're supporting the team. In Iran, laughing in public is a crime. I mean, but the Iranian team did well. I enjoyed watching their game. I was cheering for them. I was like, wow, they're doing well, right? Hendrik, I have to say that I'm glad I didn't support this World Cup in any way, shape or form. Well, Hendrik, I've got news for you, buddy. You may recall you were the first person to call in on my very stream during the opening game of the World Cup, which was Qatar and Ecuador. So I got news for you and your no supportation. You did support. So how you going to wiggle out of this one, H-Man? Go on, try to wiggle. I want to see the worm. I want to see you wiggle. I want to see you wiggle out of this, man. You by coming on my stream that first game, you did support. Get down on the floor and worm it and wiggle it. I'm just being silly, but I feel you, man. Yeah, it's just, I didn't know there was so much at stake here. Buying a Coke, you paid for it. Right, I've been mixing Jack with Coke. We all paid for it. Yeah, laughing out loud, wiggle. Let's continue reading because this is heavy here, folks. The Serbian incidents. What are the Serbian incidents? No surrender, Kosovo flag. Shortly after the Group G Brazil v Serbia match on 24 November, a flag showing Kosovo as being part of Serbia with the words no surrender was seen hanging in Serbia's locker room. The Football Association of Kosovo sued the Football Association of Serbia and urged FIFA to open an investigation. So someone hang the flag? No surrender. On 26 November, FIFA opened proceedings against the... what was that noise? Don't worry about it. FIFA opened proceedings against the Football Association of Serbia due on the basis of Article 11 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code and Article 4. The Football Association of Serbia was subsequently fined 20,000 Swiss francs. Okay, so no surrender. Serbia v Switzerland. During the Group G Serbia v Swiss match on 2nd December, midfielder Granit Xhaka, this guy, twice rattled the entire Serbian team. First in the 65th minute, Xhaka grabbed his crutch in the direction of Serbian players, causing the entire Serbian bench to angrily respond to him, and Serbian reserve goalkeeper Predrag Rajovic being booked, yellow card. Now hold on a second. We all went and watched Michael Jackson do that to us in the audience. What's the difference if a football player does it? Michael Jackson made that part of his thing, right? I'm going to show you what he did. That was part of his shtick, right? With his hand up in the air. Hey, Robbie Williams does that, and he was at the opening ceremony of the game. The whole game, the tournament. Robbie Williams walks around with his hand on his crutch. So this is a big issue? What's his name? Granit Xhaka. I want to see this. I never saw it. I don't think I've seen that game, that's why. Is that such an issue? I think we're getting a bit carried away now. Like no rainbows on t-shirts and no crotch grabbing. I mean, heaven forbid we get us double standard here, right? Michael Jackson, come on. Robbie Williams, come on. Secondly, at the end of the match, Xhaka got into a fight against Nikola Milikov, this guy, for his chance against Serbians. Okay. He is born in Kosovo. Well, okay, but he's born Kosovo, so he is allowed to have pride for his country of birth, isn't he? Isn't that why we sing the anthems before we play, the pride of our country? What's wrong with showing pride for where you're from? I mean, hell, the USA crowd chant, USA, USA. That's pride for their country. I mean, is chest beating okay? USA, USA. What's the difference? Kosovo. What's the difference? One's okay, one's not. I think we're getting a little carried away when it comes down to this. He got a yellow card for it. I think we're getting a little carried away. Yellow card for wearing an armband? Carried away, right? A little carried away. Between the two incidents between Zakaka, I can't even say his name, Haka, I'm going to dispronounce the X and just go with Haka, and the Serbian players, FIFA issued a public address in the 77th minute of the game asking for discriminatory chants and gestures to stop. But you can't wear an armband. You can't chant out things, and you also can't wear an armband. FIFA. Kosovo is not recognized by Serbia. Kosovo is a breakaway state from Serbia. Okay, fair enough. So, but still, if you can't have pride for where you're from, what's the message we're sending here? You can't have pride. You can't visually display pride of your home country, of your birthplace, regardless of whether it's a breakaway state or whatever it is. The point is, you can't be proud of that. That's what I'm hearing. So why do we raise the flags? Why do we sing the anthems? Why do we involve other teams? It should just be one team playing against its own team. Qatar versus Qatar. There can be no argument then, right? We're all here for the same thing. What I'm illustrating is it's ridiculous. Where are we? FIFA later... Oh, I already read that. FIFA later opened a disciplinary proceeding against Serbia over the breach of FIFA's articles, including misconduct of players, discrimination, and order and security at matches. Croatian incidents. Now, the Croats are a little hot-tempered, aren't they? I've got a Croatian friend. G'day, Ante, if you're watching on Facebook. I love watching the Croatian team because I always think of Ante. Xenophobic chants were reported during the course of the Group F Croatia versus Canada. I took the F off Group F and put it on Croatia. Croatia v Canada on 27 November. During the match, Croatian fans chanted xenophobic anti-Serb slogans against Canadian goalkeeper Milan Borjan, an ethnic Serb who was born in Croatia and fled the country during the Croatian War of Independence. Croatian fans also displayed a banner making a reference to Operation Storm, a military operation that ended the war and abolished the Republic of Serbian Krajina, which resulted in a mass exodus, ethnic cleansing, and war crimes against the Serbs. They displayed a banner, okay, against it or for it. I guess it doesn't matter. You can't do it. FIFA opened a disciplinary measure against Croatia. I've read too much, man. All the words are compounding across. This is a long article. After the Croatian Soccer Association filed a complaint, on 7th of December, Croatian Football Federation was fined 50,000 Swiss francs. Pitch invasions. Okay, so these are the ones we didn't see. So it's okay to talk about them on Wikipedia, but you can't show it on the game. Oh, because she was carrying a rainbow flag. Of course she was. Oh my God. This is why they didn't broadcast it. A pitch invader carrying a rainbow flag and wearing a shirt with the words "Respect for Iranian Women" written on the back and "Save Ukraine" written on the front, interrupted the Group H Portugal v Uruguay match on 28 November. I did see that. Another person interrupted the Group D Tunisia v France match on 30th of November, running onto the pitch carrying a Palestinian flag. So these are the things that it's not okay to show, but it's okay to report it. This is what I said before. We're in this weird state where it's like, you can't show it, but yet a Wikipedia article can contain it. So either way, we've heard about it. So now we know about it, but we weren't allowed to see it. You see how stupid that is? You can't see it, but you can read about it. The same effect comes across. Someone invaded the pitch and they had a flag t-shirt. Unless we're blind, unless we don't have vision, unless we don't have eyesight, why can't we see that? If we can read about it, why can't we see it? Ridiculous. The world's all messed up, folks. All messed up. Attendances. Match attendance figures came under scrutiny due to reported crowd attendances that exceeded stadium capacities. Ooh, shit. Despite games having visibly empty seats. Didn't I say that? It's very empty there, but yet we're hearing these massive numbers of attendances. Emoji, that logic is that people get forced. No, the logic is that people get forced to see it. Controversial goals. Viewers tuning into the French television of Group D, Tunisia v France, on 30th of November, missed that the French team had lost the game 1-0. TF1 switched to an ad after Antoine Griezmann had seemingly leveled the game late in stoppage time. They ran an ad instead of showing it? Causing French viewers to miss the pitchside monitor consultation that led VAR to rule that Griezmann had been offside. I just watched this game recently. The goal was chalked off. French football supporters awoke. Apologies. Get him out of there. My bad. French football supporters awoke to the shock in the following morning, belatedly discovering that the game had not been ended at a tie, but in a surprise defeat by the reigning world champions. Sucks to be those guys, hey. Sucks to be that team that your broadcaster did you dirty by. Why am I not live on YouTube? There we go, up to live. Japan 2-1, Spain 2-1, Spain. In the Group E Japan v Spain match, December 1, Japan midfielder Ao Tanaka scored a controversial goal. That's his team's second. The ball ended up in the Yumani Simmons net shortly after it seemed to have gone out of play. I haven't seen this game. After a lengthy delay, the goal was eventually awarded by VAR. The decision proved critical in 1, Japan's surprise topping of Group E, and 2, eliminating Germany from the tournament, with Die Mannschaft finishing 3rd. So Germany's out? I didn't know that. I guess I should have watched all the games. No shit. Of course I'm going to read about games I haven't seen. An image was later released showing that the ball had not fully crossed the line. So that means it's still in. The line is in by the narrowest of margins. Qatari-owned network beIN Sport showed a virtual bird's eye view of the ball. The section of the ball which was in contact with the pitch was outside of the line, but its curvature meant the side of the ball was still marginally over the line. Ooh. Hasn't it got to be touching the line though? Like, because a ball is round. So what I understand is happening here. Have I got anything straight yet? So because the ball is round, it's going to be difficult to show, but that's too difficult. But basically the curvature of the ball extends over where the line would be. But doesn't the ball have to be touching the line? So like leather on chalk, I guess. The curvature of the ball, of the side of the ball, was still marginally over the line. Spain's coach Luis Enrique claimed that the image had been manipulated. On December 3, FIFA finally released video and images to provide an official explanation to the effect that the VAR decision was correct. Post-match incidents. Moroccan riots. Following the Group F Belgium v Morocco match in which Morocco unexpectedly defeated Belgium. I'm watching that game right now. Dang it, I've only at half time. So who won? I read it. Morocco. Moroccan fans began to riot in the Belgian city of Brussels, Antwerp, and Liège, and in Dutch cities of Rotterdam, Amsterdam, and The Hague. At least 12 people were detained and 2 police officers injured. Riot police attempted to break up a group of 500 soccer supporters. So this is completely incidental. These are just football fans internationally going wild. Uruguayan after the Ghana game. The Group H Ghana v Uruguay match on the 2nd of December finished in a 2-0 victory for Uruguay. I didn't know that. However, Uruguay failed to progress from the group. After the final whistle, several Uruguayan players confronted the referee, and other FIFA officials over what they deemed as controversial decisions during the course of the game. And while walking down the tunnel towards the dressing room, Edison Cavani, this guy, I've seen him before, pushed over the VAR monitor. Oh shit! The FIFA notified the Uruguayan Association that an investigation was underway on the insults and treatment that Cavani, Jose Maria Gimenez, and Luis Suarez allegedly gave to said FIFA officials, sparking fears of severe punishments similar to the one that Suarez received in 2014 after biting an opponent. I remember seeing that, yeah. Samuel Eto'o assault. It's all such a joke. When you put it all together like this, Pertsky, this whole thing seems like a fucking farce, hey? Like, it's like I said before, it seems like a lot of hoo-ha for a game. Like, this isn't changing the world. This is just a game of sports. And yet we're so dedicated to it, and there's so much involved. I guess it's because of the money, right? There's so much money in this, man. Yeah, it's just money, right? Money's ruining the game, right? Money's ruining the sport. Following the Group G Cameroon v Brazil match, Samuel Eto'o, this guy, assaulted a man outside Stadium 947. A video circulating on social media of the former Cameroon international and Barcelona player attacked the man. Eto'o said himself in a statement later that week, this was a violent altercation, it was an unfortunate incident, and that his victim was probably a fan of Algeria. Whoopsie! Transportation. At the opening of the International Association of Public Transport, the International Association of Public Transport in Qatar, Jassim bin Salif Al Sunuti, Minister of Transport, said Qatar is currently working on the development of advanced transport infrastructure in the country, which will not only help us to prepare for the hosting of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, but will be legacy for our people and our country. He said the Doha Metro network with 4 integrated lines would cover 233 kilometers and 96 stations. In the first phase, the network would run a length of 84 kilometers and would include 38 stations. There'd be a light rail transport network and a 32 kilometers. They're definitely watching a game of football next door. Oh, that's cool to hear. The support from whatever that team, whatever they're watching, they're going off next door. Okay, so what's the problem here? They made new roads. According to a staff writer, Qatar currently has that many roads. So what happened? We have to currently have. Okay, so this didn't happen. What's the go here? These were all things that were planned but didn't happen, I guess. This is the end of the article, but what are they talking about here? I think there's American football happening. Oh, right. According to staff writer for BQ, work is underway to improve the public bus service. So what is this saying? Is this just saying that they had plans that they didn't fulfill? I mean, these are all the references material from the actual article, but that's where we're going to leave that. That was a heavy read, right? Like a heavy read. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a bandwagon fan. Like I don't watch this game outside of the World Cup. I didn't know there was this much crap involved. I thought it was legitimately people bringing the world together. Like their slogan is the world game, and like I genuinely thought it was meant for a group, like the world comes together to watch this one game and everybody's happy. Is this more saying that we can't play together? Like can we not play sports together as internationally recognized teams? If there's so much drama involved in it, so much controversy, so much backhandling, so much like discrimination, so much like putting down of other people and bribery and monetary gains and like all of this stuff. I don't give a fuck about the game really, but I just want to enjoy it. And it seems like reading this Wikipedia has really ruined it for me. Like now when I watch it, I'm going to be thinking about all this crap that's going on in the back to make it all work. It really takes away from it. From a nobody, from someone who doesn't participate in the game, doesn't have any. I was a skateboarder, right? Solo sports, like extreme sports if you want. Never really got into team sports, but this is the one game that I can actually sit down and be like, this is cool to watch. Now having read all this stuff, it really feels soured. Really takes away from it all for me. It really draws a negative to it instead of like this whole thing about not wearing an armband. It's just a load of shit. Like FIFA, if you want to make this more embracing and you want to bring in new fans to the sport, you got to smarten up. Like you got to smarten up globally. This banning of the armband and then saying we've got our own armband, fuck that. Allow players to wear the internationally recognized armband that they choose. You can't have two standards, right? You've got to have, it's the global sport, the global game. Shit. It's shit. Really shit. I kind of wish I hadn't seen that. I kind of wish I hadn't read all that. And what it's going to do is when France win, that's my prediction, France to win. When they win, it's going to be sour. It's going to be like, yeah, but this is at the expense of so much other stuff. And this is just our team winning a trophy. Ultimately, it's a trophy for the wall. How many people died? How much shit went down? How much, like, discrimination? How many people... This dude died for beeping a fucking car horn because his team won. Is that really worth it? Fuck. Perdsky, in summary, corrupt sociopaths awarded the World Cup to medieval fascists. What could go wrong? Dude, I don't know if it's just that. Like, the way that article read is it's not just this World Cup that it's indicative of. It might be preceding World Cups, and I don't know, like, I mean, are we going to see same shit for the Canadian, Mexico, USA one in 4 more years? Like, don't know, dudes. Definitely draws a pretty negative light to it, though, and it's a bit depressing, to be honest. Like, I mean, these people that aren't allowed to wear a rainbow t-shirt into a game, like, fuck. Like, really? And you're gonna go that far and stop people from wearing a t-shirt or a baseball cap into a game because it's got a rainbow flag on it? That's absolutely bonkers, right? Bonkers. Emoji token, you read that wrong. They honked because the team lost. Either way, dude. It doesn't matter if the team won or lost. A dude died because he honked his car horn because of a game of football. It doesn't matter if he's in support or in denial of the team that wins. He honked his horn and he's dead. That's fucking stupid. That's so stupid. And that's what I'm saying. When they hold that trophy up at the end, is all this stuff going to come back and they're going to be like, you know what they should do, and I know they won't, but the winning team, France, I'm still calling it France, when they hold that trophy up, they should put it down on the ground for a moment. They should put on their one love? What was I can't even remember the one armband. They should stop, put that trophy on the grass, let it touch the ground, it's can't not touch the ground. Put it on the ground, put on these armbands and say, fuck you, FIFA, and then hold up the cup. Ridiculous. I'm getting a little mad here, and I don't want to be. It's a Saturday. I'm going to go for a surf, maybe. I'm going to try to chill out. Thanks for being here, folks. I see 11 upvotes. If you have enjoyed this content and you think FIFA suck balls, give this thing a like, even if it's after the stream, after you're watching the replay. Give it a big like. Share this to FIFA. One love. There it is. Yeah, thank you. That's right. FIFA, this is garbage the way that you've handled this shit. That guy, what's his name? What's his name? Give me a second. What's the FIFA dude's name? All the way to the top. I can't remember. Dude, we read. Oh, this guy. Gianni Infantino. This guy's got to go. Hey, that's a terrible take. Terrible representation. Just. Has the guy ever played the game? Like, is he a football star, or is he just a cash wagon? Anyway, I'm mad about it now. Thanks for being here with me, and I'm gonna go for a surf and try to chill the fuck out. And I'll see you later on for a Jack Daniel's Advent calendar opening. Cheers, guys. Chill out. Calm down. It's only a game. Is it? Get out of there. Get out of there.